Last week, we talked about how to divide radicals like this. This time, we're going to raise the bar and solve problems like this. That's what we're going to talk about today. Hi there, thank you for checking out my channel. Thank you for clicking on this video. If this is the first video that you're watching from my channel, I make educational and motivational content. So if you don't want to miss any of my new uploads, don't forget hit subscribe and hit that bell icon. Now, like I said in the intro kanina, pag-uusapan natin yung pagdi-divide ng radicals pero mas complicated na yung mga problems. But I really believe in you and I know that you can figure it out. So if you want yung mas simple na version lang, yung again, yung monomials lang, you can click right here to watch that video, yung from last week. And again, go and check out the description box then for the entire playlist ng ating series on radicals. Alright? Now, before we dive into yung discussion natin for today, just a quick little plug. If you want to help support this channel and our cause to democratize education here in the Philippines, one way that you can do that is through buying our merch, like this Trying Hard shirt that I'm wearing right now. And again, you can go to www.shop.teamlyqa.com for yung access dun sa mga designs that I made for this team. And sa lahat ng bumili na, maraming salamat sa inyo. Sa mga bibili pa lang, maraming salamat din. Thank you for helping me help more people through this channel. And now that we have that out of the way, I'm going to switch over to my PC. I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so ito yung part 2 ng ating discussion sa dividing radicals. This time, we're going to talk about how to divide a monomial by a binomial na mayroong radical at kung paano rin mag-divide ng isang binomial by a monomial na may radical. Okay, now if nako-confuse na kayo dun sa terms na yun, ano ba yung binomial, ano ba yung monomial, let me introduce you to our playlist na lang dito sa I button sa taas when it comes to algebra. But if you're in the lower grades, tapos hindi nyo pa kino-cover yung algebra, then this may not be the lesson for you, baka masyadong advanced for you. Okay? But again, this is very important kasi part pa rin siya nung pag-aaral natin sa dividing ng radicals. Now, a better way to show you kung ano yung pag-uusapan natin is to give you a sample problem. Okay? So here, we have yung dividing a binomial by a monomial. Okay? Now, ano ibig sabihin nito? We are going to divide yung quantity na 1 plus the square root of 3 over the square root of 2. Okay? Now, isa sa mga kailangan natin tandaan, and we covered this din dun sa mula sa simplifying radical expressions hanggang sa dividing radical expressions, na hindi tayo pwedeng mag-iwan ng radical sa ilalim or sa ating denominator when it comes to fractions. So, ibig sabihin, hindi pwede na magstay as square root of 2 yung nasa ilalim. Okay? So, anong gagawin natin? Now, what we do when we simplify radical expressions is we multiply it, okay, by the same thing sa ilalim, okay, at sa itaas. Okay? So, ang gagawin natin is i-multiply natin siya by square root of 2 over square root of 2. Bakit? Kasi yung square root of 2 over square root of 2 ay equal lang naman sa 1. Okay? And again, explain na natin yan sa earlier videos. So if you haven't seen those, nakalink din sila sa description box sa baba. Okay? Now, pag ginawa natin ito, okay, how do we multiply ba yung mga radicals? Now, kapag meron tayong dalawang okay, bagay sa taas, which makes it a binomial, okay, kasi meron kang 1 plus yung square root of 3, ang gagawin natin is to distribute it dun sa pareho sa kanila. Anong ibig sabihin nun? Ito ay imumultiply ko sa 1. Okay, which will give me, dahil, di ba, pag 1, ibig sabihin identity property, it will remain as it is. So, ang 1 times the square root of 2 is going to give us square root of 2. Okay? Plus, yung next step, which is to multiply square root of 2 by the square root of 3 or positive square root of 3. So, ibig sabihin nun, this will be square root of, tapos, di ba ginagawa natin pag nagmumultiply tayo, pareho silang pumapasok sa loob ng payong. So, we have 3 times 2. Tapos, all over, yung nasa ilalim naman, again, we have square root of 2 times square root of 2, or ganito na lang, pagsasamahin natin sila sa ilalim ng payong. And because dalawa na sila, Okay? And we're dealing with, diba, square root, which requires na kapag may pares na or two of the same factor, pwede na silang lumabas. Ibig sabihin, pwede ko na to ilabas doon sa radical. This will just be 2. So, kung ibababa natin ito, this will be the square root of 2 plus the square root of 6 all over, okay, again, 2 times 2 na, no? At ang 4 ay perfect square, ilalabas natin siya sa payong, all over 2. Okay? Now, some of you may ask, anong gagawin ko dun sa square root of 2 tsaka square root of 6 sa taas? Now, remember, when it comes to adding yung radical expressions din, and multiplying radical expressions, when it comes to adding specifically, which is yung operation dito, kasi plus yan, okay? Hindi natin yun pwedeng gawin kung magkaiba sila ng apelido, yun yung tawag natin, di ba? Or yung number na nasa ilalim. Okay, or yung ating radicand. So, ibig sabihin nun, it will stay as it is. Yan na yung ating final answer. The final answer is the square root of 2 plus the square root of 6 all over 2. Okay? Now, ang gagawin natin is, I will leave it right here, pero magka-flash ako dito sa baba ng inyong question, challenge question. Okay? And I want you to solve that. Okay? Okay, now it's your turn, okay? Again, I left yung solution natin kanina, pero meron kayong pattern sa pagsosolve nito, kaya sasagutan na natin to really fast, following din yung steps na ginawa natin kanina, okay? So again, ang una natin gagawin is to multiply this by yung nasa ilalim, square root of 3, square root of 3, okay? Kasi this will just be like multiplying it by 1, so hindi magbabago yung ating sagot. Okay? Ang goal lang natin is to make sure na walang radical sa ilalim or sa ating denominator. Now that we have that, the next thing that we're going to do is to distribute it dyan at dito. So we have 2 times the square root of 3. So that would be just 2 times square root of 3 plus, and now we have yung dalawang numbers sa payong, square root of 2 times the square root of 3. All over, now this time, both yung 3 na yan at 3 na ito ay mapupunta na sa ilalim ng ating payong. At dahil dalawa na sila, pwede na natin silang ilabas, okay, dun sa payong. So, ang magiging sagot natin, sa taas, you have 2 square root of 3 plus the square root of 6 all over 3. Okay? Yan na yung ating final answer. Okay? So, again, procedural lang tayo. Ibig sabihin, we're going to take it one step at a time, making sure na wala tayong nawawaglit para makakuha kayo ng tamang sagot. Okay? Now, ang next type of problem would be something like this. This time, we're going to divide a monomial by a binomial. Ibig sabihin nyo, nasa taas naman ng isa lang na entity, sa ilalim, meron kang dalawa. You have 2 plus the square root of 3. Now, ang ating gagawin is, instead of multiplying it by just square root of 3, okay, na hindi magwo-work kasi kapag ginawa natin yon, let me just show you, okay, kasi alam ko yung iba sa inyo gusto nyo makita muna bago natin ma-figure out, no? And I'm the same way when I was still a student. Kung gagawin ko lang kasi ito, which is yung ginagawa natin kanina, dahil binomial ito, or dalawa yung numbers sa ilalim, okay, you have 2 and square root of 3, okay, na nahahati siya ng plus, right? Kaya nga siya naging binomial. Kailangan ko siya i-multiply sa 2 at i-multiply din sa 3. So, anong mangyayari dyan? Let's just let it play out, ha? Papakita ko lang sa inyo. Sa ilalim lang muna tayo. This will be 2 times the square root of 3 plus the square root of 3 times 3. So, ano ibig sabihin nun? Kahit mailabas natin itong 3 na ito, kasi magiging 3 na lang siya at mawawala yung pagiging radical niya, dito meron ka na namang square root of 3. So, ibig sabihin, hindi mawawala yung radical sa ilalim. At ayaw nating mangyari yon. So, ibig sabihin, no, instead of just multiplying it by the square root of 3, which is yung nandun sa ilalim na radical na expression, what we have to do is to multiply it by its conjugate. Okay? Now, ate or coach, ano po yung conjugate? Okay, ang conjugate is basically yung nasa ilalim na binomial, pero papalitan natin yung sign sa ilalim. Okay? Now, let me show you kung ano yon. Ganito. Instead of multiplying it by square root of 3 lang, i-multiply natin siya, okay, by 2 minus the square root of 3. Okay, ang next question would be, bakit 2 minus square root of 3? Now, ang idea na niyan stems from yung ating special binomial products or special products. If you haven't seen yung video natin yet, pagdating dyan sa algebra, ililink ko na lang din sa i-button sa taas, no? Pero ang idea is that if we are going to multiply x plus y by x minus y, ang magiging kalalabasan niya is x squared minus y squared. Okay? That way, whether yung first, okay, dun sa ating pares, ang may radical, or yung pangalawa, siguradong ma-eliminate siya kasi naka-square root na siya doon. Ay, naka-square na siya sa both. Okay? So, mawawala na yung pagiging square root niya. Okay? Now, if you want a more visual representation, kung i-multiply natin ito using FOIL, ang mangyayari dyan would be first, this will be x squared. Tapos, outside, yan, this will be minus xy. Inside, okay, that could be positive xy or positive yx. Gawin na lang natin xy para mas visual. And then last, you have positive y times negative y. That is going to give us negative y squared. Now, if you notice, ito at ito, they cancel each other out. So again, ang magiging sagot natin would be x squared minus y squared. Okay? Kung naguluhan kayo dito, again, we're just covering yung multiplying ng binomials. Nakalink na lang din sa description box tsaka sa i-button yung discussion na yan. Okay? But basically, ito yung logic kung bakit natin gagawin yung pag-multiply sa kanyang conjugate. Kasi ang goal natin, again, is to make sure na walang matitirang radical sa ilalim. Okay? Kasi some of the students, they want to understand, like, bakit ko kailangan to gawin? Instead of just memorizing that you have to do it. Okay? So, para may visual representation lang tayo, na yun ang target natin dito. Bakit? Kasi pag ginawa natin yan, anong mangyayari? Okay? Now, una sa lahat, ang kailangan natin tandaan is kung ginawa ko siya sa ilalim, kailangan ko rin siyang i-multiply sa taas. So, the exact same thing, i-multiply ko sa taas. Again, the idea is, this will just be 1 pa rin. Okay? Now, ano na mangyayari next? Sa taas muna, I'm going to distribute it dito. So, ibig sabihin nun, sa taas, meron tayong 3 times 2, which is going to give us 6. Tapos, you have 3 times negative square root of 3. That would be minus 3 times square root of 3. All over, okay? Tapos, ito na, yung nasa ilalim natin. Okay? Now, following this, pwede na lang natin kunin yung structure na yung una, 2, ay isa-square ko siya. Okay, now 2 times 2 is 4. Okay, dito yon ha, against x squared. Tapos next, ang gagawin lang natin is i-subtract natin yung y squared. Now, ano ba yung y squared? Ang y naman sa case na to is yung square root of 3. So, that would be square root of 3 times the square root of 3. So, this is going to give me 6 minus 3 square root of 3 all over 4 minus 3 or 1 na lang. Okay? So, dahil 1 na yung nasa ilalim, ang magiging final answer natin then would be 6 minus 3 square root of 3. Yan na yung ating tamang sagot. Okay? Now, again, much like yung ginawa natin kanina, I'm going to give you a sample problem right here. Hindi ko buburahin yung solution part na ito para magaya nyo siya. Okay? And I'm going to give you time and then we're going to solve it together. Okay? Okay, so isolve na natin siya. Now again, instead of multiplying it by just the square root of 2 over square root of 2, dahil dalawa sila, binomial siya, gagawin natin yung conjugate ang imumultiply natin. At dahil plus ito, dapat yung imumultiply natin ay minus. 1 minus square root of 2. Nagagawin din natin sa taas, 1 minus square root of 2. Okay? Now sa taas, i-distribute lang natin. Again, 2 times 1 is going to give us 2. Tapos, 2 times negative square root of 2 is going to give us minus or negative 2 square root of 2. Okay? All over. Tapos ito na. Instead of just it being square root of 2 times the square root of 2, kailangan natin siya na i-square pareho. Okay? So yung 1, basically this is like 1 squared minus the square root of 2 times the square root of 2. Okay? So, equal siya sa, i-rewrite lang natin sa taas, 2 minus 2 square root of 2 all over, yung 1 squared is just 1, minus 2 times 2, again, pares na siya, pwede natin siya ilabas, so 1 minus 2. This will be 2 minus 2 square root of 2 all over 1 minus 2, which is negative 1. Now, again, hindi na lang natin siya pwedeng gawing 2 minus 2 square root of 2 na lang, no? Kasi negative siya. So, how do we do that? Okay, what we could do would be to just change yung signs ng mga number na nasa taas. Okay? Think about it this way. Another way of writing it would be this, times negative 1 over negative 1. So, again, makakancel na ito kasi magiging positive 1 na siya. All we have to do now is to multiply 2 minus 2 square root of 2 by negative 1. So, the answer here is negative 2, okay, plus 2 square root of 2. Okay, so ito yung ating final answer. Alright? Na kung medyo naguluhan kayo doon, kasi ano nga uli yung negative or paano nga ba siya nangyayari? Paano pa nagde-divide ng integers? I will also link the lesson dito na lang sa i-button sa taas. Napag-usapan na natin yung rules sa integers before. But the reason why I wanted to use this problem specifically is because I want you to understand na kaya tayo minsan naguguluhan sa mas complicated na math lessons, it's because nakalimutan na natin or hindi pa natin na ma-master yung mga fundamentals natin. So again, if you look at this, akala natin, di ba, ay, radical lang siya, so square root lang siya. But, the moment na naging binomial na siya or dalawa ni nandun, pumasok na yung theme ng algebra, pumasok na rin yung idea natin sa integers. Okay? So kung kailangan yung balikan, all the playlists related to this topic will be in the description box sa baba. Alright, now I know dalawang sample problems lang binigay ko sa inyo, but I'm going to release a quick quiz with explainers na video soon. Doon na lang natin ilagay kasi masyado nang mahaba itong video na ito. I know medyo information overload kayo. So again, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell para hindi nyo mamamiss. But if you want more quick quiz questions, I post more sa aking Instagram account. You can follow me at Lyqa on Instagram. For the quick quiz function, ginagamit natin yung Instagram story for that para malaman nyo agad kung tama kayo o mali. And of course, you can also follow at Team Lyqa on Instagram for the throwback quick quiz questions at mga updates din sa mga events, announcements at webinars na ibibigay namin sa inyo. And of course, if you have TikTok, you can follow me at Team Lyqa on TikTok for the new quick quiz questions. Iba pa siya doon sa mga pinopost ko sa Instagram. Pati na rin yung mga explanation at math and English videos. And at Lyqa on Instagram for the more personal stuff, motivational videos, tips, advice, at kung ano-ano pa. Okay? See you online. Alright, I hope you learned something today. If you did, click thumbs up. Make sure that you share this video with your friends. Lalo mag-exam din sila. Dating mas marami tayong matutulungan. And as always, if you want to reach out to me directly, get the reviewers that I made, join the online or live review events, you can go to www.facebook.com/teamlyqa for more information. Don't forget to subscribe na rin and hit that bell icon. We have more videos coming up. And as we always say sa channel na to, never stop learning. Adja, kaya niyo yan. I'll see you in the next video and bye for now. Alright, thank you for watching until the end of the video. If you want more lessons, there's one right here that you can watch. And if you want to get to know me a little bit better, there's another channel right here. It's my second channel, my vlogging channel, if you want to talk about the random things that I like. Alright, so thanks guys and see you next time.